Good morning, guys. Welcome to Fishful Thinker. I'm Chad LaChance. This is Dan Swanson, and this is the world famous Mille Lacs. We are in Minnesota. Regular viewers will recognize Dan Swanson, the original show guest.
Yeah.
Been guiding with us for a long time, been on a lot of episodes of Fishful Thinker. Finally got us to Minnesota, to his home area, your native area. Decided to come out with camera guy Tim Farnsworth and fish for a whole week. Well, today we're on Mille Lacs. Like I said, we're going to tell you how it went. It's late in the day. It was not easy for us today.
It was not.
And we knew it was not going to be, and we persevered and turned it into a good day. So stay tuned. It should be a fun show. Fishful Thinker is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse. Gear up for unforgettable. Berkeley, your fish, our science. Abu Garcia, fish to win. Lawrence, find, navigate, dominate. When the day started off this morning, as is obvious, the wind was already blowing. You don't go out on Mille Lacs in the wind.
You try not to, because you got to get back.
Right, exactly. And you got to be realistic. We're also trying to film, and that's a little different than maybe being tournament guy who, you know, has been out here for 8 days, has waypoints all over the place. We're here this morning and out the door, and so you got to find your fish, catch your fish. And in a place like Mille Lacs with isolated structure in lots of places, it helps to be able to go look around. We stayed sheltered, and I think it was the right call.
Yeah, I think it was. We found a spot that had some fish, which helps.
All right, Dano is on right off the bat. Did we grab a net, Dan?
No, I didn't. Oh, he broke me off. We didn't have a chance to go running around, and like you said, we didn't pre-fish at all. We haven't been here at all.
Scouted it all. It's 165,000 acres.
Yeah. And if you were doing a tournament, you'd go out and do it because you have to. But but with this, we got enough fish to make it happen. So.
Well, I think the fun part of it is that, and that's one of the things about Fishful Thinker Television, is that we go fish somewhere for a day and we leave. We don't ever practice. We do very little anything other than water conditions stuff, and then we go fishing.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And the cool thing about it, though, is how long did it take us to get the first bite?
Yeah, it was like the first drop.
Exactly. What did I catch?
Smallmouth.
Okay, guys, this is why you come to the world famous Mille Lacs fishery. I mean, you could have came, I could have caught this guy on Horsetooth and not driven across the country to do it. But I will point out that that's my first actual drop on Mille Lacs with a drop shot. And this fish played nice. So that is one smallmouth bass, and we are on the board. And I can say I came to Mille Lacs and didn't get skunked, barely. The drop shot just gives you such good control of depth, and that's depth control wins a lot of the time, and you can keep your bait exactly the same distance off the bottom all the time, and that ups your odds a bunch. You don't have the motion you might get by snap jigging. I did some of that today. It didn't pay the bills.
Yeah, that's true. So everything was on the drop shot.
Everything was on the drop shot. So walleyes, everything on that Powerbait Maxent, either the flatworm or the
flat-nosed minnow.
Yeah, flat-nosed minnow. Those two baits are money. They've been money for everything we fish for.
Right.
That's a big one.
Good one. Good one.
Or bigger anyway, guys. So I'm gonna go real easy. I want to point out that's my second drop on Mille Lacs. And he ain't a big one, but he's definitely headed the right direction. So I'm gonna go real easy on him, Dan. He's not much to him, he'll be all right.
You gonna swing him?
I don't know if I'm gonna swing him. Yeah, we'll swing him. He's like 12 inches, so we're gonna be real gentle. Come on out here. And guys, that's why you put your graph to work, because we don't know anything about this lake. I mean, we're in a place I've never been. We're in the middle of nowhere. We basically are ducking the wind at a high level, because as you can see, it's blowing right here behind me, and we are in about the calmest spot you could find. And look how fat that thing is. And we're here in September, so he's putting the feed back, or late August, so he's putting the feed back. Oh yeah, mwah! Big old kiss for that one. I've now made 2 drops. I've got the Powerbait Maxent flat-nosed minnow right here, guys. And I'll get it rigged, got it on a drop shot, a little Fusion 19 hook, there you go. And I'm just putting that thing on the bottom and shaking it, and when it bites, you pull back. So far you dropped 1.
Yep.
So we dropped 3 times and had 3 bites, and we're just literally sitting out here in the middle of nowhere, and all we did was find a pile of rocks on the bottom with some fish, marked them on the graph, Dan's thing there, and we'll see if we can catch some more of them. But the wind's not going to give us a chance, it doesn't look like, to get out in the main lake or get out of here very much. It's blowing enough today that it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. This is very lee. If you look right there, it's busting big giant whitecaps out there. And this lake's too big to mess around with that.
Fishful Thinker is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse. Gear up for unforgettable. Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate.
So it's interesting because a Western angler is probably used to being snagged all the time. Yeah. And every time I come back somewhere back east, I'm like, ooh, gotta be careful dragging stuff. Not so snaggy here.
Not so snaggy, but when it is snaggy, that's where the fish are.
Exactly, and there's ironically, same as happens in a lot of places, I got my bait snagged, I'm all trying to finesse it off there. We always advocate of that. Try to shake it loose, pop the line, don't just start pulling on it. And I'm doing that and doing that and doing that, and then I think I may even said something about it. Hopefully the fish will come get it. And then, nope, sure enough, it gets bit, and he pulled the sinker off the rock. I got the whole rig back and caught the fish. And that's how you go from sad to happy in a hurry.
But then, you know, that happens a lot.
It does.
I mean, we fish on Horsetooth, and we do a lot of drop shot in there as well. And you get hung up and just kind of like, well, I'm going to give this a little bit so a fish will pull it off. Saves your sinker.
I'll give them 2 or 3 minutes, easy. Just leaving it snagged, just barely shake the bait and see if somebody will come pick it up. And it works, like Dan's saying, a lot we got in the same lake makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fish got it off the snag.
All right.
Guys, I was just snagged and I was trying to get my drop shot off the snag. If you'd hit the anchor button right here, I'd appreciate that.
We're on it.
Okay, I was trying to get my bait off the snag, guys. And as oh, that's a nice one too. And as happens a lot when you're drop shotting, when the bait's snagged, when you're sitting there working it, trying to get that sinker unsnagged, the bait will get bit. And sure enough, that happened right here, guys. There you go. Whoop, I had him right there. If you can grab him, there you go, Dano. Guys, that was my fantastic skill. I mean, what I really like to do is just really yank on my drop shot rig. Great fish. There's my tangled up drop shot. There's that Powerbait Maxcent flatworm. You can see it right there. Well done, Dan. I'll give you some elbows on that one. That's a good looking Mille Lacs fish, guys. And we're gonna give him a kiss too. I'm kissing all these. Mwah! Look at that. That's a perfect Minnesota smallmouth right there. There you go, buddy. Back to the bottom from where he came. So the way the drop shot, and this thing's wrecked. I don't know if it'll work out. I'm not gonna be able to show it to you right now, but when this sinker is snagged and you start playing with it, trying to get the sinker to come out of the rocks, then this bait's all erratic above it, and that's how a lot of times you'll get bit. And that one literally unsnagged my bait for me, so not only did I went from being unhappy to happy in a hurry. And that was roughly 15 feet of water right there. When we got out in 20, we caught walleyes.
Yeah.
Which was also fun because the wind finally laid down enough where we could get a little farther offshore and see what was going to happen. Marked fish right away, and caught 2 and lost another that I'm pretty sure was a walleye out in that same water. Fish right there.
All right.
New spot, guys. And we're just doing day one stuff. We're just cruising around looking at the various maps, and I have the mapping wizard with me, Dan Swanson, and again, we're having to stay a little bit closer to the bank than we'd like to. I don't think this one's a monster, but he's a nice one, and I'll be happy to have him. It's a walleye.
It's a walleye.
Look at that.
I'm not gonna thumb it. I'm not gonna lip him.
No, I don't. Hey, whoa, hey, he's in the boat now, ain't he? Okay, well, we got him.
I'm not gonna lip him.
There you go. There's a walleye. Now we're sitting on this offshore hump, and that's not much of a walleye, but we are on Lake Mille Lacs, so that's is that one of my first Minnesota walleyes? I'm trying to think.
I believe that's true. I don't think you've caught one
I
yet.
believe that's my first Minnesota walleye right there, guys. So word has it they get bigger than this. These guys right in front of us, I'm sure, are catching those early and often. We'll go ahead and put him back. But not our target species, but my feeling is, and you've agreed with this being from former professional walleye angler that you are, that the smallmouth and the walleyes are going to sit on a lot of the same stuff.
They do. I think the walleyes tend to be a little deeper than the smallmouth, but they're on the same stuff.
Okay, well, and for the record, it's funny he just said that because we are now in the 18-foot range when before we were catching our fish in the 13-foot range. That's the first walleye we've seen. It's the first time we've picked up the boat and gone to a new spot, so we'll keep attention to that. Walleyes are fine with me though.
Yeah, and I think if we were going to specifically target walleyes, we probably wouldn't have been drop shotting on those fish either.
Exactly, that's the point of it. That's the beauty of it too, is we weren't doing anything walleye specific. We were looking for smallmouth out on those rocks, but we catch the walleyes doing it. And that goes back to a lot of things we do on Fish Will Thinker television. Everything natural, gulp minnows, drop shot, a lot of finesse stuff, which is all we caught fish on today.
Yeah, and we do a lot of finesse fishing anyway. And walleye fishing is a finesse technique generally,
right?
You know, not generally power fishing,
right?
And today, and of course these smallmouth, the way they're set up, you can't really power fish for them either. It's pretty much finessey. It's the only way you're going to get them.
It's another walleye. We have struggled to get our smallmouth bite to continue, and we weren't able to really run around this morning. We only have today to fish, and so we came back to a little bit deeper spot. I put that drop shot down again on some fish that we marked earlier today. And they were still here, and Dan's gonna grab that walleye right there. And if we were, he throws them in the boat like he owns. Yeah, keep him out of my rods there. Hey, easy fish. All right.
There you go.
Walleye, nice thick Mille Lacs walleye. Obviously they get a lot bigger than that, but we will take it. And on the drop shot rig, and that is one Minnesota walleye. That is the second walleye I've ever caught in the state of Minnesota. And we'll be quick about putting him back.